What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today I'm here to do a breakdown of the 2 sneak peeks we got for The Walking Dead Season 9 Episode 7 titled Stradivarius. Both of these sneak peeks involve Daryl, and I'm very excited to talk about it, so let's get started. So at the end of last episode, we saw Carol and Henry. They were together and they ran into Daryl, who Daryl basically exiled himself after what happened to Rick, and it's pretty crazy to think about because it's been 6 years Daryl's been living on his own. I mean, his hair looks the exact same, but we're not gonna judge that, right? It's whatever. Daryl has his iconic look, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about because he's been there for 6 years living on his own. In the first sneak peek, we have Carol and Henry visiting him and basically where he's kind of living. So first thing I want to talk about is Daryl's new dog, because Daryl now has a dog, and I think this is a very good move from The Walking Dead, a good asset to the show, because a dog isn't like a big deal or anything, but it can go a long way because people love dogs. They're attached to dogs, and I think a character like Daryl, who is always out doing his own thing, and for this instance he's living on his own for 6 years, you know, having a dog is a good idea for him. But that being said, I gotta warn you, AMC, because if you guys kill this dog, and I'm pretty sure they are gonna do it, it's gonna be really sad. If you guys seen the movie I Am Legend, kind of like the same thing here, you know, a dog in a zombie apocalypse, and it was very sad. So I feel like they brought in this dog just for fans to like the dog, and they're gonna rip our hearts out in a couple episodes. But let's hope that doesn't happen. But I do like this dog, and I can't wait to see more of it. I'm gonna try to not get too attached to the dog, because right now I have a feeling they're gonna kill the dog off, and if they don't, I'd be more surprised if they do. But anyways, let's move on and talk about the next thing, because next we have Carol saying that you didn't fix the boat since the last time, which is pretty interesting because it kind of shows that Carol has been visiting Daryl this entire time. And Carol and Daryl have been best friends for a very long time, so it makes sense why she would be visiting Daryl. But I'm kind of interested to see if other characters visited Daryl, because there has to be other characters who cared about Daryl. I mean, later on in the trailer, we have Daryl and Aaron and Jesus together, so Daryl isn't going to be exiling himself that much longer. And a storm is coming, I believe. Like, I saw some, like, there's some footage of rain and stuff, so Daryl is probably going to come back to the group. But I want to think about, where do you guys think he's going to go? Like, which community? I think it's going to be the Kingdom, just because of Carol. I mean, he could go to the hilltop because he likes Maggie, but Maggie isn't there anymore, so who knows. But I don't know. I feel like he wouldn't go back to Alexandria for a number of reasons. Obviously, Negan is there, and then also in a way, I feel like he might be, he feels responsible for Rick's death. Even though he's not, I feel like Daryl does feel responsible just because of their fight in the ditch and just everything went south right after that. So I feel like Daryl might think it was his fault. If he never drew Rick out there, maybe that wouldn't have happened to him. So Daryl is probably putting that blame on him. So I see him going to the Kingdom and living there, or the hilltop possibly, but just I don't see him going to Alexandria. And Carol is carrying the sleeping bag, so obviously she's been bringing stuff to Daryl. But something I noticed that was very interesting is that she asked Daryl when was the last time you ate, and Daryl just kind of threw off the question and said, "The dog ate yesterday." But what I think would have been really cool is if they made this 6 year, you know, like Daryl living on his own for 6 years, just a bit more believable. Now, they filmed The Walking Dead continuously, so I get why it wouldn't be possible, but I feel like if maybe Norman Reedus lost some weight and they changed his hair, I mean, he didn't even have to lose weight, because I get it, they filmed continuously, so that's not possible, but maybe just change the way he looks or something with the hair, or, you know, I just feel like if they changed the way Daryl looked, it might have been more believable that he's been living on his own for 6 years. But again, they filmed back to back, so Rick gone episode 5, you know, the next week they start filming episode 6, so he doesn't have that much time to change his looks, I guess. But still, I feel like that would have been a little bit more believable, but you know, it's not a big deal. The next sneak peek we have just Daryl and Henry, and Daryl's dog is tied up, and there's a bunch of walkers surrounding it, and Daryl walks up to go save it, and they kind of leave it in a way to make it look like Daryl might be getting bit, but we all know that's not gonna happen. And Henry is gonna go help Daryl, but Daryl yells at him saying stay back. I mean, it's just a couple of walkers, and they're all stuck, so I don't know, unless I'm not seeing this right, I feel like it's kind of overreacting. But I think this would be pretty crazy if this is the scene that Daryl's dog died. I don't think so, that'd be way too early. But something I want to talk about is if the Whisperers are up to this. Now, I don't think any of these walkers are the Whisperers, because the Whisperers act like walkers, but not to this level. Like, they don't go up to dogs and just pretend like they're gonna bite them or something. That's a bit extreme. But the Whisperers, they have a technique of they carry herds, like the herds follow them, so they can like lead the herds to different locations and kind of lead herds to communities and just completely screw over people. So the Whisperers do that. So the Whisperers could be up to this. You know, they're in the area now. You know, they expanded. The Whisperers are coming close to the communities. They're in the same area now. So, you know, it's been 6 years, so they're around. So the Whisperers could be involved. But if I had to completely guess on it, I'd say no, they're not. And just a scene to get fans hyped up. And then also part of the reason why I think Daryl told Henry to stay back is because, well, Daryl loves Carol, that's for sure, and Carol loves Henry because Henry's basically, you know, her son. So I can definitely see Daryl kind of taking like a father figure also, just in a way to keep Henry safe because he doesn't want to hurt Carol, you know, because if Henry dies, it's going to be horrible, and it's going to be really hard on Carol because that's basically like her losing a son. So I can also see that's why Daryl told Henry to stay back. But those were both of the sneak peeks we got. Nothing too major or crazy, just both revolving around Daryl. That's why I kind of want to make this video to talk about Daryl because I'm excited for Daryl because we didn't get much of him in episode 6, but I want to see how much he's changed since, you know, Rick left. And remember guys, everybody thinks Rick is dead, like nobody knows he survived, so Daryl is obviously going to put that blame on himself, so I'm interested to see how much he changed. And I'm excited for his dog and the Whisperers. A lot of good stuff coming up for The Walking Dead Season 9. But for this video, I am going to wrap it up there. And I'll leave it off for you guys in the comments down below to leave your thoughts and opinions about Daryl, his dog, and Season 9. And for daily Walking Dead videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.